For the longest time, Final Fantasy XV was just one game, happy and content with its own existence, but things changed earlier this year when we learned about the creation of a Final Fantasy XV universe, which would expand the lore of the game and create a much more holistic view of the property as a whole. This started off in quite an innocent way, but as we got closer to the game's release, the marketing mix has gone into overdrive, and in reality, things have become a little muddled. I mean, did you know that in addition to the main game, there are now 11 other properties that have been released to tie in with Final Fantasy XV? I know, it's crazy, right? These range from demos through to anime and even completely new games. So, to get you up to speed with everything that is now part of the Final Fantasy XV universe, here's a rundown of all the properties we've seen either released or announced so far in the build-up to Final Fantasy XV, starting with Episode Disc. In what's now a classic move for Square Enix, packed in with Final Fantasy Type 0 HD was Episode Disc. I say it's a classic move because it's not the first time this strategy has been employed, and it's something that's also quite commonplace in the industry. I know that in this particular instance, there are quite a few people who are willing to just buy the demo and saw Final Fantasy Type 0 HD as a nice bonus. And I can say I very much understand why. There was a massive cloud of doom surrounding Final Fantasy XV as we'd heard so little, and this was the chance to actually experience as a tangible, real thing. Square Enix also took it very seriously, conducting polls about experiences, and they even did a first for video games by applying a patch to the demo, which gave us Episode Disc 2.0. Brotherhood Final Fantasy XV. Announced during Uncovered, Brotherhood is a prequel anime series that looks to expand upon the past of Noctis, Prompto, Ignis, and Gladiolus. The first episode was released right after Uncovered, with the other 4 episodes then being released sporadically around significant events. All episodes are now available online, with the bonus scenes featuring Luna Freya planning to be released with the Ultimate Collector's Edition. Afuji-san has also stated that if the public reception is good, wink wink, they will consider producing more episodes of Brotherhood in the future. Kingsglaive Final Fantasy XV. The second big announcement at Uncovered was Kingsglaive, a big-budget CG production featuring some stellar Hollywood names. They even had Aaron Paul and Lena Headey up on stage to introduce it to the world. Kingsglaive takes place towards the start of Final Fantasy XV and has a focus around King Regis' struggle to defend Insomnia against the imposing Niflheim army. It's an awesome spectacle, and I definitely recommend you check it out before playing Final Fantasy XV if you have the chance. Justice Monsters 5. The third announced property at Uncovered was a companion mobile game called Justice Monsters 5. The link between the properties is a little tenuous. It's pretty much just an arcade game that appears in the main game, but there was still a degree of excitement for it. That excitement unfortunately dissipated quite quickly shortly after the launch, however, and this one had to be chalked up as a bit of a miss when it comes to Square Enix mobile games, as it just wasn't well received by either fans or critics. Platinum Demo. The last Final Fantasy XV universe property announced at Uncovered was Platinum Demo, which serves as the prologue to the main game and was actually pretty awesome. Not only did we get to experience the upgraded combat system and a few different weapons which we got to test out against the Iron Giant, it also gave us the opportunity to meet Carbuncle and see the scale of other astrals such as Titan and Leviathan. Final Fantasy XV VR Experience. Announced during Sony's E3 2016 press conference, Final Fantasy XV VR Experience kind of caught people by a bit of a surprise, and it didn't seem like it endeared itself to too many people who checked it out at the show. It will be a free day one piece of content where you would get to play first person as Prompto in a fight against Deadeye from Episode Disc. It's essentially just a tech demo, but we've been told that there is additional VR content planned for the game. King's Tale Final Fantasy XV. This standalone game kind of snuck under the radar for many as it was announced during E3 2016 as a pre-order bonus, but only if you pre-ordered through select retailers. It presents itself as a side-scrolling action game and focuses on the escapades of a young King Regis and his trusty group of friends. Regis did actually fight alongside these guys, but the story of A King's Tale is non-canon, as it's all just a made-up bedtime story told by Regis to help Noctis fall asleep. Season Pass. Details about the Final Fantasy XV Season Pass were revealed in August thanks to the PlayStation Store of all sources. And it's through this that we learned that anyone who purchased the digital premium edition could get the Season Pass upgrade. We know that it will contain a few different packs, each with their own unique style. There will be one where you get to play as Prompto, and others for Ignis and Gladiolus. The last piece, called Comrades, will also add multiplayer and cooperative gameplay, allowing you to team up with your mates to tackle foes as any of the 4 guys. King's Knight: Wrath of the Dark Dragon. King's Knight is actually a pretty old game that celebrates its 30th anniversary this year, following its release by Square on the Famicom in 1986. Wrath of the Dark Dragon acts as a complete remake for iOS and Android. The link between King's Knight and Final Fantasy 15? Well, they kind of just made one up. We know that in EOS, the game is pretty popular and the 4 main characters enjoy playing it. That's about it, really. Final Fantasy 15 MMO. I think out of all of the announcements, this one has perhaps surprised me the most, especially as it was announced so close to the release of Final Fantasy 15. Square Enix has decided to team up with MZ, who created Mobile Strike and Game of War, to try and crack the US mobile game market. Aside from it featuring the characters, storyline, and soundtrack of the main game, pretty much nothing else is known about the game. We've also got no release date or even a release window, so who knows when we'll see this. Judgement Disc. This arrived as the 3rd demo for Final Fantasy 15 and was announced during the latest active time report. However, it's only available to Japanese gamers, unless of course you want to either create a Japanese PSN account or change your Xbox region. Judgement Disc contains an opening sequence of the game as well as the first half of the first chapter of the game. It also features some graphical enhancements which you can see if you've purchased the PS4 Pro, but unfortunately it also has quite a few different bugs which Hajime Tabata has said will be fixed through the upcoming patches. So hopefully you're now all clued up on the Final Fantasy 15 universe. Which of these properties are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments. And like always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Until next time, this is Lauren signing out.